Ba-do-ba-do. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus. Welcome to the Gypsypotamus. Welcome to Experience.
Oh man, I am recording, by the way. We are.
Okay, cool.
You know what's interesting is I was watching like a few different creators, like podcast personalities. Whoa, your camera's a little blurry there.
Maybe I need more light.
Oh man. Excuse me. But yeah, I ended up doing or checking out like just some random person's like podcast of sorts, and he ended up having like multiple clips of like separate topics being discussed, and he basically separated those out into like separate videos and like titled them that specific topic. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then he actually like also put out the full length thing on its own as like the full kind of like podcast as well as like the separate clips that were like discussed kind of thing. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Cool, like the highlights.
Yeah, but at the same time, like he split it up into topics. So it was like, you know, let's say we were talking about cars, and then we like somehow traversed to like, I don't know, talking about snails or like shit like that. So essentially he was like, oh, like put out a video saying talk about snails with like so and so, and then like how to, I don't know, like build an engine, you know.
Yeah.
And then he just like also put out maybe like 5 different separate clips that were like kind of like best of, but at the same time it wasn't like titled best of. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
it was neat.
cool.
It was a cool idea, and I was like, wow, this guy's a genius, because he's, you know, it's like separating the content and like parsing it out so it's a little more digestible. Yeah, because it's like not everyone has you know, the means or even the patience to, you know, get through like an hour in some podcast to get to those topics to begin with, let alone you know, whatever. So let alone like know what's going to be discussed completely, because I feel like, dude, like when you put something out and it's like an hour and a half long, 2 hours long, like it's not like whatever description you put into, you know, like the title or like the description itself is not gonna like you know, blanket the and blanket description like the entire experience of, you know, the conversation. There's no way. You know what I mean? So you're like,
right. There's always things that you skip over or miss because, especially when you get into like a really deep conversation, your brain starts to fire off like in different directions and different like exciting things pop up. That sometimes, yeah, it's hard to like, if you want to stay focused, it's hard to know whether it's better to stay focused or to go on a tangent, because it's different situations call for different. Sometimes you want to be like serious discussion about one thing, and other times it's like, oh, it's kind of cool to see. I like seeing where a tangent goes, especially if it
man,
it's something inspiring.
Right, and that's actually why I love podcasts so much, because they kind of stray from like major topics and whatever, especially if it's like podcasts about like nothing and, you know, very specific. That's kind of like what style that I enjoy getting into. It doesn't really have to be like, you know, anything like that. But anyway, as I was saying, like it's, especially if you're having a conversation like that, it's like so hard to then like while you're uploading the content itself, you know, put a description that like covers, you know, every single little point that like the, you know, discussion has gone and delved into. And it's I think it's really cool that that dude was like parsing everything out to like the topics at hand type of thing. I think that's it's pretty smart.
Yeah, and you get the extra views and revenue, right?
Right, exactly. Like, plus it's a lot more, as I said, like digestible and a lot more likely for someone to click on it, really. If it's not like an hour long.
Yeah.
And like someone's like, oh, like maybe I'll check out the 5 minutes or 7 minutes of this conversation and see what the fuck they're talking about. These motherfuckers.
Do you listen to podcasts more on YouTube or Google Podcasts?
So interestingly enough, I have kind of gone all around. I ended up just going on Google Podcasts just to like, well, I just went on Google Play just to see, you know, what podcast apps there were, just to check them out basically. Because, you know, I'm a fan of podcasts. I like to digest some every once in a while. And yeah, like I went straight to Google Podcasts as the first thing that popped up, and I was like, oh, cool. Like I know there's Stitcher and like iTunes. I've never had iPad product or Apple products, so I've never like really gone that down that lane. But yeah, I would say Google Podcasts is my go-to, or now Spotify, because God damn it, Joe Rogan is on exclusively on there, and then everyone else's shit is also available though. So
did he leave YouTube?
So they do after the fact, after they like play and like put everything out, like they do kind of do highlights, like multiple, like almost like what this other dude was talking, or like what I was talking about just a moment ago about the other dude, like that I saw not too long ago, like posting like snips, you know, like clips of discussions like on particular topics. That's also actually what he's doing for essentially YouTube, to be able to post it up on YouTube. He's just doing like little snippets of like discussions of particular things. Like the full thing, the full length thing is no longer there. It's all exclusively on Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can make tons and tons of money, which I'm sure he's doing, you know, why not just
Dude,
talk?
right.
But does he? I know he wanted complete creative control. Does he have? Does he have that? Spotify will let him do whatever he wants.
I think so. Like honestly, like for the first few weeks that he was officially switched or whatever, he was literally just like talking shit about the Spotify people, and
he's like, these dummies, they're paying me $100 million.
Yeah, it was something like that, honestly, but it was interesting. Like he didn't, for sure he didn't like transfer everything like right away. It took a lot of time. Like even when he was officially like transferred over, or switching or whatever. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. I think it might have been. He kind of like once he officially switched. Like I know he was doing both at a certain point. There was like a transition period, and after that period was over, he was officially on there only. Yeah, like if you go on Google Podcasts, like his new content will not be there at all.
Wow.
After a certain like number or whatever. It's interesting. And like that was kind of like the par that was set initially, I want to say.
Do a whole lot of other artists want to move to Spotify now, or they want the Spotify deal?
I don't know about that, man. I don't know. Like I know, like I get that people are on Spotify now because like he's on there and like checking out podcasts. I guess kind of like what I was saying. I do also go on there to check out other people's podcasts because they are there, and I'm already on Spotify. So I'm like, I guess they did get me in that regard, and that's how they're getting a lot of people as well. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, big tech, you know, media companies.
Right. Dude, I already need to get some more whiskey. Dude, this thing is fucking good. I poured myself like 2 fingers of whiskey and a little, like half a cup of Sprite.
I've been waiting for mine to get super cold because I poured it and I got one of these. Got me a really nice rocks glass. It's got the
very nice,
the triangle of ice.
Okay.
And what's crazy is you wait until it gets behind the ice, behind the ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just so good. It's like a really great mouthfeel.
Very good. Did you have that in the freezer?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I was gonna say, I could tell it's like a little frosted.
Well, you have to. It's like a ice cold. You keep it in the freezer.
Yeah, for sure.
Something that's I really appreciate, that something that I really like, and that's kind of like sacred to me, is like the shower ritual. Like you work hard during the day and get sweaty and dirty. But when at the end of the day you shower,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like super clean, and you enjoy being clean, and that's what I love.
Oh yeah, man. It's like you're
It's like a refresh.
yeah.
Restart.
What's the word? It's like the typical there's a fucking word I'm looking for. It's like the Greek style kind of like mythical meaning of like showering and like being bathed or whatever, like kind of being like reborn. Dude, there's like so much merit to that feeling, like after you shower after like a long day like you're talking about. Yeah, man, feels fucking good. You wash the nasty grime off yourself and all the oil buildup and whatever other bullshit. Dude, honestly, like showers are like the perfect time to like think. And dude, like I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to so many other people that have like exclusively had like very introspective thoughts in the shower. I think it's just like a time where it's almost like a meditation, dude, in a way. I mean, especially if you're just like taking it kind of like what you're saying at the end of the day, and you're literally just like it's also like a relaxation thing. It's like you're winding down, you know, you've already done your hard work or for the day, and you're just chilling. Like,
Yeah.
you have a moment to yourself. Like, you don't really have that, you know, throughout the day very often, you know, especially if you have like a family or like, you know, other people or like animals that you're taking care of, that you're like just anything really. Like, it's literally just like everyone's own time that they get.
Yeah. I feel bad for parents that, well, not just parents and kids, anyone who like can't find a space, like their own space.
What do you mean
And
by
I've
that?
been through that for a long time, like living at home, living in a dorm room on college campus.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like always having like someone there, like a roommate or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think that I've realized that more recently, is that like you do need your own time. Like sometimes, like even if you're the most outgoing person, like you also need that time to yourself to like be a normal individual, to be able to like reflect to some extent on like the momentum of life. Because life goes fast, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I love your blue frames, bro.
Thank you. I've gotten a lot of compliments on them. Yeah,
Nice.
I like them too.
I was gonna say shades, but obviously they're not shades. They're
Yeah, there's blue Ray-Bans.
very vibrant, but at the same time low key like blue.
Uh-huh. When it's too dark, they almost look black. It's only when they're lit up. And they match. You can kind of see they match my headset.
Yeah. Very good.
Whenever I wanna, I could like have a light I could do like a hair light, like in an intense. If we're playing a video game in an intense situation, I'll just go like this.
It looks like you have a strobe light, dude.
Dynamic lighting. Oh, it kind of messes with the,
Dynamic lighting. You're just like zit-a-doo, 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 zit-a-doo. Talk about dynamic.
Yeah. This isn't like a Ninja, like what Ninja has. He's got like $100,000 setup.
Does he?
Have you not seen what his room looks like?
Yeah, I think like it's interesting because I've seen
Sponsored by Red Bull.
yeah, doesn't he have like a little like oh, that's right, because he got his entire like room redid, right?
Yeah.
By Red Bull.
He's got like a little table to do like meetings and interviews. Like a play-by-play review table.
Yeah. Does he actually use it though?
He even has I don't know, I don't really watch this stuff. He's got like a pull-out drawer for his dog to just like chill in.
That's fun.
It's got like a bed and like yeah.
How big's his dog? Obviously
I don't know,
small,
again,
small
like, I don't
enough
really
for a
watch him.
drawer. It's funny.
I don't really watch like gameplay because it makes me too jealous. Like, have you heard of Population 1?
Is that a game?
It's a game, yeah. It's a
I have
VR
not.
game.
No.
Population 1 is the best VR game ever created, like so far.
Yeah.
Currently it's the best multiplayer shooter. It's basically like Fortnite in VR, but it's different. It's like it's its own game,
Mhm.
and I watch some gameplays, and it just makes me want to play so freaking bad. It looks like the coolest game ever.
Yeah. For sure.
It's just like a first-person shooter, but it's in VR, and and they've got like snipers and all the weapons, and it works. It's like the future is now.
Nice. Where have you seen it played?
Just there's a couple of people I watch. Node. Yeah, I found it on Node. Node is like the gaming channel that I watch.
Yeah, is that on like YouTube or?
Yeah, it's on
Got
YouTube. I'd bet Mr. Beast would be into it too, but he doesn't really do VR games. Like Mr. Beast Gaming and Node are the two gaming channels I watch.
Got it. Isn't Mr. Beast not a gamer, or is he always been a gamer?
No, he started a gaming channel last year.
Okay.
And he's already got 14.3 million.
Wow. Wasn't he like into like food and cooking shit or
You're
whatever?
thinking of the LA Beast.
Oh,
LA Beast is the competitive eater,
got it.
and he does some other crazy channels. Mr. Beast is like the king of YouTube.
Yeah. What does he do?
Do you not know who Mr. Beast is?
I guess not, dude. I'm very
What?
YouTube illiterate.
What? Mr. Beast is like the biggest channel. Yeah, he's literally second to PewDiePie.
Interesting.
He does just the craziest stuff. Like look up his channel and just look at the thumbnails and titles. And I bet you anything right away you'll find a video that you're like, oh man, what does he actually do? Like I need to see what this is about. And everything he does, it's like it's not. I don't think much of it is fake. He's not a very fake guy. He does these crazy. He's like giving $10,000 to a random stranger, to a random person. Watching paint dry for 10 hours. Last to leave this $800,000 island keeps it. He literally brought 10 of his friends and put them on an island and made them compete to win the island.
Wow.
Like he bought an island and then he gave it away to his friends. He just loves giving away stuff. That's basically like the summary of his channel, just like experiencing life and giving away tons of stuff.
Just being charitable.
He did like he filled a hot tub with money, not like with water, like just empty with money. And he put 4 people in it, and is like last to leave this hot tub full of money gets to keep it. It's like $20,000.
Wow. Aren't you like not supposed to be in a hot tub for very long?
There's no water. It's just money. It's just filled with cash. Literally, like.
So if you're just like soiling the money, then like soiling yourself / soiling the money, then you're out, or what are the rules on that? You get a catheter?
If you leave, you
Man.
just don't win. You go home.
Well, what if you gotta go to the bathroom or something, dude?
Very rarely does he do. He does. Sometimes he allows bathroom breaks. There was this one video where he did. Last to leave a Tesla gets to keep it. Put 4 of his friends in a Tesla, and he's like last to get. And it lasted like 3 days, and they were like they were like holding their butt out to poop in a bucket.
What?
But like leave. Yeah.
That's
Actually,
absurd.
if you haven't ever seen Mr. Beast, I'd start with that video.
Do they drive the Tesla around to like fast food places to like grab food and shit?
No, it's just
It's stationary.
They the person each person is competing in it, so
Yeah.
you couldn't have like someone's the driver, and they have to like rotate, and yeah, it's crazy. The right away, I think if it were me and I was in the driver's seat, I would argue that I get control over the control panel, and then I would just turn on the seat warmers, and I'd force everyone out. I'd make it like as hot as it could be, but I'd make my seat cool and everyone else's seat hot, and I'd push them out.
Wow, what a dick.
I mean, you
Using
gotta
dirty tactics.
risk it to get the biscuit,
Wow.
as I would say.
As you always say.
Yeah, you've
I've
heard me
never
say that.
heard you say that once. Notorious Teddy over here, risking it for biscuits. Yo, I'm gonna go grab this whiskey bottle, because I don't have it near me, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna keep this going. So I got some JMO. Can you read that, or is it backwards?
Yeah, no, I can read it. It's
Nice.
the right way.
For sure. Dude, this is the stuff that your brother-in-law brought to your bachelor party.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's good shit, man. Very good stuff.
He has pretty good taste.
On it.
What else have you been watching these days?
Random comedy, like stand-up. Like before, I mean, I recently had, as I said, like mole removed or whatever. But so I was able to like work out. So like recently, I'm not able to really work out due to that, because it was like I had like stitches and whatever. I didn't want to like pop them off. So essentially, I still have like a week. So I don't know. I've just been taking it easy. But like before that, I was on the daily, pretty much running on the elliptical. Running.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was using my
What's the part of
elliptical
this you've got?
and just watching stand-up. Like random shit on Netflix. The farthest I've gone.
Yeah.
I don't really track that, man. I just do like the preset programs on there. There's like maybe like 4 or 5 settings. There's like cardio. There's like strength, which is like just super works out your ass and legs and shit. And then yeah, I mean, they're all like 20 minutes long, so it's like perfect amount of time for me to like go throw on some Netflix and do a little segment real quick, like 20-minute segment, hop off, make some food, shower, and then be back at work.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
I don't have the best work schedule. I'm kind of like all over the place. Like in terms of, I kind of just like, it depends on what I want to do. I have a lot of like administrative tasks as part of my job, so I kind of just do a lot of stuff. I should like break to get water and stretch at like even intervals.
Yeah.
But they usually don't end up being even intervals.
Yeah. I'm of the group of people that kind of gets up pretty often to just like grab some like water and snacks and whatever. That's if I'm like feeling like snacks, but yeah, otherwise I just kind of lock down and bear through it.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm surprised you can't see this thing. I got my little boom mic set up. It's just out of the field of view.
I like that.
Yeah, I felt it was necessary to use in this situation. You know. So randomly I was looking up synonyms to vaginas recently.
Yeah, did you find any good one?
Oh my god. Yeah, I did. Bearded clam. Have you ever heard of that one?
Yep.
I thought it was pretty good.
They're not always bearded, but sometimes.
Right. If they're trimmed, it's nice.
Yeah. What else? Keep going.
There's some other ones that are just like didn't even make sense, like clunge. Like,
oh, I like that.
what?
I kind of like that.
It doesn't even sound like a real word. A clunge. It sounds like
make it a real word.
Sounds like a fucking medieval like cavern. It's like where pirates hid their booty, the clunge.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a section of a cave where it's like it's very hard to get to. You need to like go under like an underground tunnel or something.
You need a plunge to get to it.
Or underwater tunnel rather. Yeah. You need a plunge to get to the clunge. That should be like part of the riddles, like written in blood or whatever somewhere to like get them to like the treasure. One must plunge to get to the clunge and raid thy booty. Alright, let's see.
Dude, the new thing is chocolate bombs. I've been watching a lot of chocolate bomb videos.
Yeah. What is that?
It is like
hot chocolate shit?
Yeah. Yeah, it's where there's a ball of chocolate and they pour either like hot chocolate or hot milk over it until the ball's made of like really thin chocolate, and sometimes there's stuff inside.
Yeah.
But with the hot liquid you pour over it, it just melts it, and the whole thing just explodes into gooiness.
Nice. Is it one of those things that like scratches an itch that you didn't think you had, and it's like satisfying to watch, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's not like it's not like as satisfying as like other like have you ever seen those really satisfying CGI videos that are like the seamless transition videos?
I don't know what you're talking
send you an
about.
example.
For sure. You want to share your screen? Yeah, that's actually pretty cool if we're able to do that and then just like share our screens on here for a moment and then go back to video. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, there simulations, satisfying simulations. And I gotta search by Reddit because that's how you find like the best. Oh, there is one, of course. There's like a whole Reddit for it.
Of course, dude. Reddit has literally everything.
It's got the whole internet categorized.
It's nice, dude. It's convenient. It's like what blogs used to be, but now it's like completely interactive, more so than not. Okay, it's pretty much like blogs, but at the same time, like everyone's on there. It's kind of like stumble upon blogs type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Stumble?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. They had some pretty cool shit where you'd like
That was the night. That was
randomly-
cool. That was a cool part of the internet where
yeah, you just hit like a randomize button basically.
Yep.
And it like takes you to random shit.
Okay, let me see if I can share my screen.
See like
here.
random like cool photographs or like artwork or like people like chatting about some blasphemous shit that you would not have otherwise you know, been upon.
Do you see my screen?
I do. Interesting.
So these videos, have you seen these before?
I don't think so, actually.
Oh, these are really cool.
And this is just CGI,
Yeah, they're physics simulations.
right? Interesting.
Mhm.
That's kind of
It's not-
cool.
It's like different patterns being sliced.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, this
Oh,
one's
wow.
good.
That's funny.
They can get pretty complex.
Cool. That's cool, man.
I wonder if I can.
It's like the equivalent of mental masturbation. I went there. I said it.
I guess. Yeah. No, that-
It's just purely pleasureful to watch.
What's Discord Nitro?
I don't know, dude. Is
Discord
that like
Nitro, make Discord yours. Well, when I went to share my screen, it limits you to 720p, and in order to do higher than that, you need Discord
Oh.
Nitro.
I'm guessing that's just their premium service then.
Oh, it's $100 a year.
Of course it is. I mean, if that's like, if Discord is like something you're on all the time, you know, obviously it might be worth it, but I don't know. I'm not on Discord all the time.
There's also
Discord is pretty nice though. I hear you could use it as a streaming platform, and like it has a lot to it. It has like TeamSpeak, essentially, just like multiple like large group like chats, like audio chats.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's
it
cool.
has like calling like this. It has, you know, streaming ability. It's a platform for streaming. It's interesting. I have a feeling that they have like, I definitely think that they have more shit to it. But yeah, essentially like if you, I think you can also like post stuff like videos or something like that, just like content to an extent,
okay.
like on your profile or whatever. I could be wrong. I'm not very well versed in Discord capability, but I only use it for basically like guild raid shit and calls like this.
It can be pretty powerful. It can also be pretty like scammy.
Yeah.
There are tons of bots, and when you're in, especially when you're in one that's moderated using bots,
Mm-hmm.
can be pretty spammy.
Spammy or scammy?
Yeah, like you'll get message. Well, both I guess, but you'll get like messaged by a random person.
Got it. That's interesting. Yeah, that's never happened to me yet.
So are you playing a lot of WoW?
Kind of, sort of. That is my primary game at the moment. I'm not. I actually really want to do a stream where it's like, so they have like the classic version of the game. I think I've told you this before. That's essentially like what the game used to be without any expansions.
Yeah.
So they have that, like classic servers that you could play on, and that's been like very, very popular. But at the same time, they also have like retail, which is like the most updated, expansion. servers up, simultaneously. So what I wanted to do was create a stream where I play 1 hour of the initial one and then 1 hour of the retail, to like see A, how it plays, B, like how quickly I level, with the different, essentially with the different platforms, and then just like depict it and then just like more or less react to it, because I actually have not played retail in like years. Like I hopped on for like a moment just to like check out the fuck it, like one of my characters that was like, I don't know, like my characters used to be like level fucking 100 and whatever, and there was like a massive level squish. So like now those level 100 players or 100 characters are like level 45. So they basically like level squished everything, because you were able to, I think, get to like level 120 in the latest expansion, just before like the update with the level squish. So maybe no, not the latest expansion. The latest expansion that's why they did the level squish, because Shadowlands came out. Dude, I literally haven't, like, I've been such a big fan of the game in general, like since I want to say 2006, pretty much when it came out. Like within a year after it came out, I was playing it, and it's a great game, dude. Like I've been on board ever since, except for the past 2 expansions. The past 2 expansions I just did not buy. Like the very latest expansion and the one before that. Like I played 3 expansions ago. I played that one and I was just like very disappointed. Like they essentially like isolated you from the world of Warcraft. Like at the end, like you were able to basically just they called it a garrison. And it's pretty much just like a super miniature town that you like own, and like you like do your own shit in. Like you can like grow crops, you can like, and you like mine shit. You have like a little mine, like a personal, like everything is personal though. Like no one else in the world of Warcraft can come into your garrison. It's just you.
So it's private, right?
Yep. So it's like like, and you can like level up like heroes or whatever, like companion heroes. It was weird. It got like very bizarre, and like you send them out on quests or whatever, and then like they later can like help you or whatever. But also, if you wanted, you could actually hire one of them to like be your real world of Warcraft companion.
Oh, okay.
So like he or she, I should say, could like be right beside you, like fucking shit up. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't like that big of a help. I mean, and by I'm sure I mean they were like somewhat of a help, but like not, the biggest step ahead. So there was like other perks you could do though. But yeah, essentially like anytime you were not questing essentially or raiding or whatever, like you were just like in your little garrison doing shit. And I don't know, like I didn't like that. And then they emphasized end game content was pretty much just like repeating the exact same like levels you were doing, like boss battles and shit, but like exponentially more difficult versions of it. And it was just the replay value to me like wasn't as valuable, I guess. I don't know, it was weird. But anyway, so that was one of my ideas though, to like do a stream on retail of like a brand new character, because I haven't done that in literally like I want to say like 2-3 years now. So whatever it was since like the last expansion came out, the one before the current one.
Yeah, I'm still playing Cyberpunk, and
yeah, I was just gonna say, what are you playing?
It'll be so long. I'll be playing it for a long time.
Yeah,
it's a big.
How do you like it,
Yeah,
man? I know the game had like a lot of hype. Keanu Reeves was selling
Say that
it.
again.
I said the game had a lot of hype. Keanu
Oh
Reeves
yeah.
was even selling it.
How do I like it?
Yeah.
I like it a lot. It's very open world, so there's a lot to do like on the street, and you don't even need to do missions. Like you could just literally just run around. Um, and for that reason, it's hard to play it for like half an hour. It's not one of those games you can just play for half an hour. I mean, you could.
Oh, I
It's
see.
like it sucks you in, and
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to stop.
Got it. You're saying just like for a short interval of time,
Yeah.
you can't really like invest only a small amount of time. You need to
Right.
invest more.
It's hard to. You don't need to, like, but the game just sucks you in.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes you release all your dopamine pretty quickly.
Yeah. Like just from a glance, I know last time I was over to check it out since it came out or whatever. Like just from a glance, it looked very like GTA-y. Was it? Does it play like GTA or like is it totally different?
Not really, because it's all first person. GTA is
Got
third
it.
person, so it plays very differently. Just for that reason. Also the missions and the lore.
Mm-hmm.
The lore is all like dialogue. There's way more dialogue, whereas in GTA it's like a story. It's more story based. This is more like character development stuff.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, and if you go too fast, because you can skip the lines, then you miss out on like a lot of the story.
Got it.
So
How's the voice acting?
it's good. It's good. This game was in development for a super long time, so they literally have they might have like 1,000 characters. I'm not
Yeah.
even kidding. There might be 1,000 NPCs that you
Damn.
interact with that are all
Like unique dialogue.
Yeah.
Their own like character
They might
and
be they might be voiced by different people. Honestly, it's that I wouldn't be able to tell.
yeah.
Either like someone doing two different voices, two different accents,
Mm-hmm.
or them completely separate. There's no way to tell
Got it.
because they're that like pretty good and unique.
Nice. That's cool, man. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure they have at least one voice actor doing multiple. Otherwise, they'd be going broke. But no, yeah, I was actually just watching earlier today. Kind of side note here, but I was watching like a random stand-up special type of thing. This dude that like does like a ton of voices or whatever. He's like legit like used to be a voice actor for like a ton of cartoons and shit. And like, and it's not like the first guy I've seen. Like I know very very good voice actors do like so many roles or like.
That's like the most fun job. Voice acting is the best.
Dude, I bet that'd be so cool.
Like everyone wants to just voice a cartoon for the rest of their lives. It's like best retirement job.
Dude, I'm sure it'd be. I know it takes effort. Like I'm sure it takes like a lot of work to get to that
Do you know
level.
who ProZD is? ProZD is a voice actor, and he has a YouTube channel. It's really funny. He does shorts, and he does different characters, and
Nice. Is that a young person or?
he does reviews. Yeah, he's like our age. His name's ProZD. He's a really good.
So almost
voice
30.
actor. Yeah.
Nice. I'm sure that's a tough job to get into, though. You got to know some people, and also
you have
have
to
like
be really good
a lot of experience.
portfolio.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Right. Yeah, your portfolio's got to be astounding, you know, to be able to like, you have to do it so prolifically, dude. Like to be able to, you know, get anywhere with that.
But then again, there's a lot of work too. Like there's a lot of opportunity.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, like you could do like voiceovers, you could do like, you know, characters in a game or like a show. There's so much stuff. You could do like radio characters or something. Like scripts, I guess.
Yeah. You could do just podcasts and just
You could?
say
Yeah.
you could like find plays and you can just narrate the play.
Yeah. You could do that too. Fucking
You could do.
good old Morgan Freeman. That's
Yeah, okay, sure.
narrating like nature documentaries and shit. Or who am I thinking of? It's like a very British dude also does that shit. I don't know his name. But anyway, yeah, man, that'd be actually very legit. Like art to get into. Because it's like it's like the art of being live in a way.
Yeah, some people have it and they're just on, and other people it's it's hard to do.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard for me to be in front of a live audience.
Yeah. But you've streamed before. I was going to
I've
say, have
streamed,
you streamed? But you have
it's like
streamed.
a couple of my friends watching me. That's
Well,
not like
you don't know.
1,000 random people watching me,
Well, I mean, if
1,000
that,
random people is way, way different.
if that video is out there already, and if it's saved out there like that, then
Yeah.
that's the equivalent.
Yeah.
Because it's like that's pretty much what I do essentially with my streams. I just throw them up on YouTube after I'm done.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the best is when you don't have to edit. That's the real appeal of doing things live.
Oh my god, yes.
I would push through any type of fear, like stage fright, to not have to edit.
Honestly, man, like it's all about practice. You just have to do it. Like it's not that I've done it that many times.
See, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, because cutting, the skill of cutting can always like get better. That gets better as you practice, but editing in general, it's not about practice. It's about trying new things and working them into your skill set. And I don't have the time to continuously try new things. I mean, I do have the time, but I don't want to. It's something I don't want to do. I don't want to keep trying new things. Like, literally, I haven't put out a vlog in a pretty long time, and that's because
Are we editing this out, Teddy?
I don't want to. No, I mean, this is like a good look behind the scenes,
All right.
I think.
I didn't know if you wanted this out there or something.
Plug teddywalla.com. See all my other vlogs.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't put one out because of just the sheer amount of work it takes to set the camera up, record, and then edit. Like, if I had someone else doing that for me, I have a million ideas that I would execute today. But because I'm one person and I'd have to do all that,
Sounds like you need a helper, dude.
Yeah, I would love an assistant. Oh my god, when I win the lottery,
You don't
first
have
thing
to,
I'm
man.
doing is getting an
You
assistant.
don't have to win the lottery to do that shit.
To get an assistant,
Yeah, man.
someone who's reliable, like the things that I would make them do.
You
I
gotta
would
start
almost-
small, man.
What, be like, make my coffee today?
No, just be like, yo, I just want this edited
Camera,
while
this.
I'm working on this other project. I just want this and this clipped out. You just kind of go over it with them real quick, and then
And I wouldn't
you
make them
edit,
do
you
the full
review
edit.
their work.
The only thing I would have them do is the rough cut, and then I would take it from there.
There
I
you
would
go.
take it from there, and then I'd give it back to them, and I'd be like, okay, I'd want a CG explosion here, and I want this massive out here, all of the BS work.
Right. There you go,
It's
dude.
not really BS work, but like all the stuff that I
Right.
don't really care to like play around with.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the BS work, but it's the
Then again, now that I think about it, if I had the amount of money to buy an assistant, that would mean that I don't have to work, and then it wouldn't be a problem. I would do everything myself. If I didn't have to spend 40 hours a week, I'd be happy to edit. So that's another thing. Like if I was rich, money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys time. It buys you time and it buys you energy because you don't have to there's an opportunity cost to energy. Like we just got a dog and I haven't even looked at like dishes in the sink
I thought you were gonna say I haven't even looked at this dog.
like no, the opportunity cost of like the other parts of your life, just I can't even imagine what it takes like to have a kid or have twins
Right.
or like anything like the rest of your life just goes by the wayside. Who only like someone like Casey Neistat could have a kid and put out a 10-minute vlog like of that kid with, you know, like covering the responsibilities of that kid and then also being creative on top of that. It's like legendary.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like so incredibly like just inspiring because
is that what you're shooting for?
no, I can't shoot for that. It's not feasible for me. It's not about trying because it really isn't feasible to me because I know how much worse I would do the other parts of my life if I stepped up vlogging. Like I would love to step up vlogging, but it would seriously hurt. You know, like when they say something, the definition of addiction,
Yeah.
it's when you do it's not like you could do something all day, every day, but it only becomes an addiction when it starts to hurt your responsibilities, when your other responsibilities, like you don't become an alcoholic till you start, you know, when you isolate yourself from all your friends and you like stop showing up at work. That's when it becomes a problem. And so vlogging,
Man,
like
you could be a functional alcoholic. Like there's people that do that.
yeah, but people don't go to AA for being you don't see functional alcoholics in AA. Like you're not gonna hit rock bottom.
I don't know. I've never been to AA.
I just know like when I have an idea for a video, like that's all I care about, and also
Yeah.
I feel like there are some times where I want to be in the moment and I want to experience something, and there's no being in the moment and vlogging.
Right. You're right.
That just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like the people that capture candid, authentic moments are not filming themselves. They're filming someone else, or they're having someone else film them.
Right.
To be a self-filming vlogger, there's no living in the moment. Definitely not.
Yeah. That's
Like the next vlog,
it's
my
like
next vlog I have.
it's like I was just gonna say it's like the paradox of, you know, like whatever you're looking at isn't the same. Like if you're like because you're measuring it kind of thing. Like have you ever heard of that? Like if you're measuring something in physics, like it doesn't react the same because you're like of like a parameter of some sort of like you're like the fact of you like measuring it to begin with. I forget what it, but yeah, like that's
you can only measure position or speed. Like when they're measuring particles.
But I mean, I'm not trying to get into like nitty gritties of physics or whatever.
Something.
But yeah, like
uncertainty principle. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So essentially, like if, sorry, go ahead.
The physical reason behind this uncertainty is by its very nature. Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me get. I just want to get like the actual definition so that we both know what we're talking about.
Right.
Oh, also called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Okay, it is the
Doing the research work here, dude. doing
Well,
some
it's
legwork.
it's in such scientific language that I even wanna simplify this more and like bring it into English.
Got it.
It basically means, I mean, there's mathematical proof as to why this is a real principle,
Mm-hmm.
why it was proven, but it's basically you can only measure either position or momentum of any object, and you're not able to measure both. So to translate that into what we're talking about, you can only do something or you can vlog something. You can't like fully experience something and vlog it at the same time, because it's not a candid moment. Then you're not like, I mean, unless you literally have security cameras in your house filming, and then later at the end of the week you go back and you find the candid moments. Other than that, you're thinking about what you're filming, and then that takes away from the actual filming of it.
Right. And yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. The observer effect. That's what it is. So I'm sorry to totally quash what you were saying and whatever the principle is. But it's the observer effect. That's what I was talking about personally.
Let me see.
So in physics, the observer effect is the disturbance of an observed system by the act of observation. So essentially, like that's what I was trying to say on my end, at least, is like literally by virtue of you essentially vlogging, like you yourself are like self-conscious that you're vlogging, and like you know that you want to like put out like whatever like brand or like a certain amount of like a certain par that you want to reach with like your content.
They're kind of related, the uncertainty principle and the observer effect.
For sure.
The observer effect is pretty much like explained by the like as to why the Heisenberg uncertain is the why of why the observer effect is. Observer effect, yeah, it looks like that's like what you actually experience.
Got
which
it.
is cool. That like, how do you know? So if you go to like Google Images, there's this one picture. There's this one picture of a person looking
Share that
at.
shit, bro.
Okay.
We got the technology.
Yeah, we do. Wait a second.
Can you zoom in on it? Whatever you're talking about. Like control, scroll in.
Can I just... Why wasn't it?
You can probably right click it and go to view image.
Open image in new tab. That's what I want. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do they know that this is what this looks like? That the wave is shaped like that? If they don't,
I think it's a theoretical.
like the whole, does a tree fall in a forest? I know it does.
Yeah.
Does it make a sound? You could put a recorder there, but like
you could put a recorder there.
yeah, it still
that's
falls.
funny.
Like you can, if I think that's like a really stupid. I think that's a stupid. Not proverb. Is proverb the right word?
Yeah.
Like saying?
Yeah. I think it is a proverb.
Because you have to. There has to be some base level of understanding. Like, we know history happened, and so we need to do things to avoid history happening again. Like,
Yeah.
you can't say like, "Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see it, so it didn't happen."
You put a recorder there.
I didn't hear. Yeah. Oh, there was no recorder before recorders
Oh
were
my
invented.
god.
Like, they
That's
didn't
so
have back then, so
ridiculous.
nothing happened. Literally, history starts the moment that a recorder was invented.
That's funny.
There was no history back. I tried. This is a funny tangent. One of my favorite classes in college was this. It was religions and cultures, and one of the themes that they talked about, like it's not a class on theism. We just talked about how religions affect humanity as a phenomena. So like we talked a lot about like religious terrorists and extremism and
Yeah.
how religion, changes us as humans and why people need religion, that sort of thing. And one of the cool things that we talked about was like the timeline of God, and when the idea of God first came into place, and like what it did to people.
So it's really the timeline of our perception of God.
Yes, and what's crazy is that we think that God was always there, like God is this omnipresent being, but there was a point in time where there was no consideration of God, where God was never observed. Talk about the observer effect. There was a point in time where like he was never ever observed. So like, what did God look like? And the conclusion that we came to in the class, like after like group discussion and we read sources and stuff, was that there was a point where God never existed, but once he existed, he always existed. So it's like God wasn't a thing at some point, but once he became a thing, in history, he was always there from the beginning of history. It's a really hard thing to wrap your mind around.
Are you talking about like a written history, or just like the conception of the thought of an omnipresent being in like the mammal brain? Like once hominids like started, believing or like understanding more of their environment and like started going to the level of like being self-aware, obviously surpassing that, and then like the thought of like something else being in control, like an overall
control
power source.
Interesting thing to think about.
Well, because that was, from what I understand, that
when he came into control.
What wasn't that like the thought? Like once lightning struck a tree, like whatever like level of humanity we were at the time, we tried to like put meaning to like the events that happened. Once we started trying to put meaning to that, there is, to an extent, like the thought of like something controlling that event and like making that event happen, like an overall like more powerful being, an omnipresent, as you say, being that's like making that happen, whether it's like spirits or just something that is not invisible to us, or like a more powerful like entity that like we didn't understand at the time. I'm sorry?
Explain what you mean by making it happen.
Making like the event of, let's say, like lightning striking a tree and then like lighting up a forest fire or something like that. What I'm talking about is like, let's say someone sees that, or let's say you're a super early like pre-hominid, right? And you're just like, holy shit, like something just happened, like I'm scared. Was that something or someone that like did that with intention, or did that, like there must be a reason why that had happened, type of thing? Or like maybe like once like there's like a tragedy, let's say, and then like they put way more meaning into something that like really does have meaning. Like for example, like something like their friend lit on fire from that tree that was burning, right? Or like the tree like that was burning fell on their friend, and they're like, oh fuck, I lost my friend, like this is pretty fucked up, like something must have done this, like I want to get revenge on that something, or like, you know what I mean, like just maybe not really as maybe that's not the like the correct train of thought, but like maybe it was, like that's like where I understand like that thought process coming from, in the sense of like an omnipresent entity like being the causality essentially of something that's like either traumatizing or even spectacular event, you know what I mean, like just something that's like a life-changing type of thing that happens. Are you following me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting, because I think there are some things that are too little to need meaning. Like I don't think lightning striking a tree needs meaning behind it, but let's say lightning strikes a tree that lights on fire and then ends up burning down the city, and there's a couple murderers in the city, and those murderers die in the fire, and that ends up saving certain other people's lives, and then those people go on to do great things.
Or even like praise something for saving them.
Yeah, you could say that
or praise fate, maybe.
Yeah, you could say that is part of the meaning of the lightning strike, but then again, the lightning strike isn't the sole. Like there's the why and the how, and I don't think that the lightning strike is the entire picture of the how, because it's like there's a million things that led up to that point. Like all of life is this like complicated balance that I don't think there could be I don't think God would just be like, I need to kill these murderers, and so I'm going to cause a lightning strike. Like, I don't think he works backwards to...
Right, so, like, I'll bubble up, I'll, like, have this water evaporate into clouds, which will, like, then transit over, like, the clouds and, like, have them super saturated with water as they, like, pass over this area, and have them, like, electrically charged so they cause a lightning storm and fuck these, like, murderers up. Like, that would be so insanely, like, I don't know, it's just like basically serendipitous events. I would say at some point in time, like stuff like serendipitous events, or just stuff like coincidences or whatever, like have been, chalked up to have more meaning than, potentially having to like it's almost like, oh, someone must have orchestrated this type of thing, and it can't have been like a regular human. Like, it must be an ethereal being, of the universe. Ethereal being of the universe.
Actually, it may be ethereal.
I mean, I think I've
never used that.
It depends on how you. It depends on how you pronounce it.
Regions beyond the earth. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I think you could say it both ways, but either way, it's just the emphasis you put on which syllable. But yeah, like I feel like, especially when it comes to like events that either like continuously happen or just like there must be some sort of breaking point where, early people started trying to put more meaning to the universe than they saw around them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so they almost like started putting like hypothetical meaning like it's not like something they can measure. Like, you can never measure God. You know what I mean? Like being present or something like that, like in a certain situation. But at the same time, like, you can believe,
Right. How much free will do you think we have?
84%.
Okay. Oh.
The rest, I think, is
that's a really good answer.
I would say the rest is conditioning, like organism conditioning, capability, and
wouldn't the rest be God? If we have 84% free will, then doesn't that mean that God has 16% power?
I was totally kidding about 84, by the way. That's just a number I threw out.
Okay. What do you think? So, okay, my question is free will is it a metric that you can measure quantitatively? Or is it like, or should we look at it like a pie chart where you have 100% of the will, and then a percentage of that is God's will, and a percentage of that is our will? So like, there's the two options are, do we have these point values, or are they percentages?
You're asking what do I believe personally?
Yeah, it's either like one or the other. I mean, unless there's a third option I'm not seeing. But is it like a push and pull? Like there's a needle and it goes either towards God or towards us?
Well,
Or
it's
is
very.
it like, can we get more free will?
I think it's very complicated because I feel like you can be.
And I have a real world example.
Yeah, I feel like you, like in any situation, you can be swindled or led into a certain direction, like especially if it's an interaction you're having with someone, or if you're introducing like other conditions or specifics into the situation. Like you can almost be talked into like doing something if something seems like that attractive to go with, or a decision to be made or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in that sense, it's like you do have free will, but like at the same time it could almost be hijacked.
Okay. Well, here's another question then.
Situationally.
Okay. So at the point in time when let's just talk about the human capability. So at one point in time, we learned how to genetically modify dogs.
Okay.
And we did selective breeding, and we did this with like fruits too.
Mm-hmm.
Did that take away God's will to give us more free will? Like we have this new ability.
I like how you're just trying to get yourself in focus.
Is God less powerful? Yeah. Is God less powerful since we discovered that ability?
So it really like depends on what you mean by God and like the definition you personally have. Because for example, like let's say I could just say that's the universe. Like the universe's way it was going to be, or like...
What would differentiate God from the
like,
universe?
I guess there's really no difference. It's just what name you call it. But like for example, like if you're trying to plant a seed somewhere in a particular region, like that seed could have naturally gotten there, or like you could go out of your way to like plant it. You know what I mean? Like lead that seed to its location where you want it to be, or something like that.
I think
so,
that
I'm sorry.
there are things that God like tells humans to do. So it's not just about.
Like, so you're like, he's an influencer. So is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, like because if there wasn't an influencer, then that means we would have 100% free will. If we don't have 100% free will, then
do you think that
it's not just nurture versus nature?
Yeah.
How it has to affect both, right?
How much free will do you think we have? Given what you just said, or are you just throwing out a hypothetical?
So this is my question is different from measuring the magnitude of our free will.
Okay.
To think about how much free will we have.
So let's go back to your main question.
You want a current snapshot? Oh, the current question is just is free will something we can get more of, and does that take away, or is it like a push-pull with God's free will? Is it a direct percentage? Is there a total amount of free will, or is it an ever-expanding number? Like we can get more, we can cultivate more free will.
Yeah,
something
bro.
that we can obtain more of, and when we do obtain more of that, does that take away from God's free will, or do we can both have the same amount of free will?
I'll give you the silly answer first. You can buy it with Bitcoin.
The more Bitcoin you have, the more free will you have.
That's right. The real answer, I would say, my real answer anyway, is it depends on how much you're in control of your own life, and how much you let other things influence your life. The people around you, the environments that like you put yourself in. Like, yeah, you put yourself in that environment, but like you can let like people lead you to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do. You know, like it's very, I would say if you're really getting down to like what your actions are on a daily, like it's very much influenced by a lot, but also at the same time you're letting yourself get influenced to do to like lead your own self into those things. Like for example, let's say you're like, oh, like I'll lead myself to scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or whatever. You're leading yourself to that because you're looking for a distraction, or you know, you're looking for just to get an update on, I don't know, like the news, or like what the latest and greatest is, or like whatever. And then like let's say you're on TikTok, I don't know, and then like some you like see a post about like a cool product, or like someone like talking about something that you want to do, like a craft or something, I don't know. And then like you're like, oh shit, like that'd be a cool thing to do, and then you do it. Like that technically, like it was someone else that influenced you to do that. So in the sense, like, yeah, like maybe it's like I would say there's a fluid dynamic between free will and allowing your free will to be hijacked throughout the day. Like,
okay. Yeah. And I think that really comes down to like how disciplined you are.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's like if you do not want to be influenced one bit, and like you have a very strong will of like exactly what you're going to do for the day or something like that, you know, like you don't have to be influenced whatsoever by any outside, you know, stimulus. Like it could just be you and you on your own with your own ideas for the day, doing your own shit. But I honestly would argue that it could change daily. You know, your amount of free will and your
like if you get
allowance.
Sick and you're in bed all day, like you don't really have free will. You're just, you know, you're surviving at that point.
Sorry, what did you say?
Like if you get sick and you're in bed and you have to nurse yourself.
Right.
You don't have free will in that situation.
Yeah, I guess you could also, you know, in a sense argue that. Yeah, like something could affect you and you could, I mean, it's all, I actually would say that's like situational, but like you still have free will in the moment. Like you could either nurture yourself, you know, in the best way, let's say. B, you could like say fuck off and I'll drink a whiskey and like put my nurturing to like half pace and be like, oh, like I'll mend my wound, but I'll drink whiskey to like, you know, just deal with the pain or whatever, or like even though it's maybe not helping you at the end, or I don't know. Maybe you'll throw in some orange juice in there, and in turn it's actually getting you inflamed in your, you know, within your body, but like you're orange juice intolerant. Or like
well, and like orange juice and like intolerant. I am so thankful that I'm not allergic to anything.
Yeah, let's say I hypothetically said milk, because that'd be a little more easily like relatable. Yeah, lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Let's say I had you decide to have a White Russian, but you're lactose intolerant.
Dude, that would suck.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad that I'm not lactose intolerant, because I love all the foods.
Yeah.
But like
same, dude.
Grains, I think the worst thing for me would be being gluten intolerant or being lactose intolerant. Yeah, those would be the worst. I have a couple of friends.
I think those are honestly the most common, like among people.
And one family member, they're allergic to fructose. So they can't have high fructose corn syrup. They can't have corn syrup at all. They're literally allergic to fructose.
Jesus, man. That shit is in literally everything these days, man. It's awful. That's like in every condiment you could think of, in like every drink you can think of. Jesus, man. That's rough. Like at the same time, like that's probably a good thing to be intolerant to, because it's just so bad for you to begin with.
A really healthy lifestyle, then you can't like have processed foods.
Right. Exactly. It like forces you into it in a way. So do you think that they have less free will? Circle back around.
Yeah.
Like because they can't have that, or they're deterred rather.
I don't think them having the ability I don't think them having the ability to drink milk, to put milk into a glass and drink it. I don't think that qualifies as free will.
I mean, they could do it. They have arms. They could. They have.
What I'm saying is they could do it, but
unless they didn't have arms.
It's not in their best interest to.
Dude, unless they were lactose intolerant, didn't have arms.
That severely limits your free will, not having arms.
Or a mouth. I don't even know if that's possible.
I mean, it's possible, but you wouldn't be able to eat it. You'd have to have like a injection of nutrients.
Right. Gotta have some Gypsy Rose shit, like the feeding tube in your stomach. Yeah, that's.
Oh gosh, have you seen the movie
not the
Run?
Best.
I know who you're talking about.
Not.
That's a fucked up story.
What's that?
So, what Gypsy Rose and that?
Oh, yeah.
So, the movie Run is somewhat. It's not based on it, but it's like kind of a similar thing where she's in a wheelchair, and her mom gives her these pills. Her mom gives her. She has like these illnesses that keep her like in a wheelchair, and her mom gives her these pills. And one day, she finds out that the pills that her mom's giving her aren't like linked to the medications that she thinks she needs. And her mom like doesn't let her have access to the internet and like all this stuff, and she finally finds out, like, I don't want to spoil it, but she finds out that it's her mom's fault that she's it's a good movie. You should look at it. It's called Run.
Oh, it's a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie. And she finds out that her mom is the reason she's in the wheelchair. And she has to like find a way to escape.
That's fucked up. But she can't run. Is that?
She can't run. That's probably why they titled it that.
Wow, those sons of bitches.
I'll spoil one thing. She doesn't run one time in the entire movie.
Yeah.
So it's not a physical run; it's a metaphorical.
Like
run.
every scene is just a run-on sentence. Oh man.
That'd be so annoying.
I know.
It's just called Run.
You just see the script.
Dialogue.
You just see the script, just semicolons and commas.
Oh my gosh! It's like each scene is kind of like scripted like Entourage, where there's no gap in the talking.
Yeah, right.
One-liners, and they're all run-on sentences.
Fucking Entourage, dude. Yeah. Dude, when we used to be roommates, man, that was the shit. That was our show.
So good.
That was a great show.
And it's weird because, like, I wouldn't watch that now, and I totally, looking back, I'm like, that I wouldn't ever guess that would be a show that I'd like, but we got into it.
Yeah.
We got into it, and then we had to watch them all.
Well, it was like a
good arc. I think it was a pretty good arc too.
Yeah, it was like a bro-based show. Like it was very appropriate, I would say.
They didn't need to like fix themselves, you know, like there wasn't a lot that they had to grow to be satisfying. They just needed to grow a little bit, and they definitely grew a little bit, the characters.
You're talking about like throughout the show?
Yeah. And also it was very just introspective to movie making and stuff, and kind of a cool, and there were so many cameos that it was a fun show. Yeah.
It was a good show. Keyword was.
Well, yeah, it's not on anymore. Are you watching anything right now? You in the middle of anything?
No, not really. As I said, I've just been like watching some stand-up specials. Randomly, I watched like Def Jam, like special or whatever. It was like a anniversary thing. It's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Apparently, cool. Def Jam comedy played a big part in the upcoming of comedy at one point. I mean, especially for the black community. It like
I love
It,
comedy
like-
that's geared towards other cultures,
yeah.
other people in other cultures. Anything that's not geared towards white people, I love. There's one of the channels. Is it FX?
It is interesting to see like what other
Yeah,
cultures.
FX is a cool channel
like-
that has a lot of shows that are geared towards like other cultures.
Yeah.
The
For
show
sure.
Atlanta
Wait.
is it's written by Donald Glover. That's on FX.
Nice.
I mean, it's now on Hulu. It's like FX is streaming on Hulu, so if you have Hulu, you can see all the FX shows.
Got it.
But
Yeah.
I love just like stepping outside because I don't have very much diversity at all in the people that I meet. I'd love to interact with more diverse group of people. It's kind of sad. It's like everyone's
like
white.
diverse culturally. You're saying?
Diverse yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, when I say white and black, I mean culturally. I don't mean skin color. There's
Right, because they could be like albino or something.
well that, and there's also
That.
there's a lot of black people that grew up in in white suburbia, and
Right.
they're not diverse either.
Right. I mean, they're diverse to an extent.
So like bigots are xenophobic. I'm the opposite of xenophobic. I like want the xenophilic. Well, that's like you're sexually aroused by.
Dude, why?
But, like,
why
yeah,
do they have to?
I want the unknown. I want anything that I haven't like seen before or like heard about, like new ideas. I love new ideas.
Yeah, man. Likewise. It's a good thing to
There's
enjoy.
if
I
you
think.
have Hulu and you're able to see some shows, one show I recommend, and this is actually a white guy show. I shouldn't like segue to this.
You're
but
like, oh man, all this
it pairs up
diversity.
with, 'cause
Here's a
you were
white guy
talking about
show.
comedy.
Yeah.
There's a show called Dave on Hulu, and it's based on his real life Dave Bird, Lil Dicky.
Okay.
So it's a show about him. He's the main character. He plays himself.
Does he have someone
And-
vlog him, or does he vlog himself?
No, it's a scripted show.
Is there
but
a
it's
zero,
it's
the
based on his
observer
life.
effect?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Playing a
though.
part.
It
For
doesn't
sure.
need to be candid. It's super funny.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
If you like Lil Dicky, you'll love. And
He's okay. Yeah, I mean, like he's
he
got
made his
funny music.
TV show really funny.
Nice.
Do you know who Andrew Santino is?
Yeah,
He's a red-haired comedian. He's
he's got a podcast, Whiskey Ginger.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays Dave's manager in the show,
Okay.
and he's really funny.
Yeah. Cool, man. I'll have to check it out. But yeah, it's definitely good to like get like cultured and like have like exposure to different realms of
Hmm.
any sort of like artwork, really, and like cultural.
Just a cultural viewpoint, like a
Yeah,
viewpoint on a perspective, a unique perspective.
agreed. Yeah, it's I think it's important to like not only have that just in your life, but also like to learn from it in a way, and like to evolve your own ideas, you know,
Mhm.
because of the exposure in a way.
Yeah, I like when my ideas evolve naturally. There are tons of times where I'm surfing the internet, Reddit especially, and I land upon stuff, but it feels like sometimes the internet can feel like an echo chamber because I seek out things that I want to see.
Right.
Like my YouTube feed is like all tech stuff, and I seek that out, and it's just like this tech circle jerk, and same with like some of the Reddit
The
communities and, like,
proverbial
crypto
Reddit
communities.
circle
Yeah,
jerk.
like I justify it because I'm like, there are some things like I want to see, pop culture and like current like what people think now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I'm seeking out the communities that I hate the doom scroll endless feed of the internet. I'd much rather things just I like when things feel natural, not like algorithmic. You can tell when something's algorithmic.
Right. Yeah. So in that reference, do you think that you're limiting your own free will by exposing yourself to such a niche feed?
Yeah, it's kind of like
info
it's
feed?
kind of like I'm choosing to give up my attention for big tech's perspective.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like it may be a fresh perspective, but it's not something that's just I don't know, like it's not within human nature. It's just kind of big tech wants you to think.
Well, it's manufactured,
Right. Yeah.
That's the whole basis of it. It's like
Totally.
not only like play it on something manufactured, like it's like discussing systems that have been synthesized, by scientists or whatever, like on computers. That's the whole basis of tech, dude.
Yeah. I like when tech I like the infrastructure tech. I don't really I like consumer tech. I love being a consumer of consumer tech.
Mm-hmm.
But I think infrastructure tech is much better for the world. Like, imagine all the resources that went into making iPhones, and imagine that effort being put towards water or clean energy, like any transportation.
Are you talking about like water energy, like hydrogen powered stuff, or
no? I mean like providing clean water for people.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Providing public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Like $1 trillion went into making iPhones and the iPhone ecos. And I don't mean I don't mean to call out iPhones, but all smartphones.
Yeah.
Like if you were to put all that effort, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of overlooking.
And I don't want to get into like the ethics of stuff, of like tech companies, but just the opportunity cost. Because I think that, like in the movie The Matrix, where you see the machines are providing for Zion, they rely on the machines have to keep running.
Yeah.
I don't mean The Matrix, I mean like the actual real city of Zion, like is run by the machines that's set far into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's gonna have to be us someday.
We're the energy for the machines. We're a battery.
We are right now, but we need to make machines work for us. We can avoid it.
We're the machine inventors, dude. We're the architects.
Yeah, but
there's no one architect.
I don't want machines
of the Matrix.
to eventually control us. I want them
communal.
to provide for us.
Right, and that's the idea. Like, for example, like iRobot, like how they had like all like each household had a robot.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith was like, "Fuck this fucking receipt machine," or what did he call it?
I don't remember. It was such a long time.
I don't know. It was like something super like rudimentary. But yeah, like it was like the equivalent. He was like treating them like VCRs, basically. Like he would like kick them down the stairs, like be like, "Fuck you!" Like you're not like you're a piece of equipment. You're not like you're not going to be emotionally like involved with me in any way. I'm not involving myself emotionally in this interaction with you, like you're a machine kind of thing.
Yep. But
I think that emotional barrier is going to be broken at a certain point in time. I'm sure it already is with dude, that fucking robot bitch that is now a citizen of like Sweden or Finland or some shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's like has fucking citizenship. She's immortal, dude. She'll forever have that.
I guess, but she was never immortal. So
I mean, she will be
immortal, but like
I mean, she's a machine, dude. She is immortal. They're always gonna update her to the firmware, hardware,
but
everything, dude.
Okay, I guess if they continuously develop, then
They will. That's literally their Dolly, like,
unless they run
Project
out of
One.
money. If they run out of money, like, they'll stop.
That's like their best bet at, like, current AI slash. No, dude, they're just gonna keep pumping her up with like the best shit.
Put her into
I
a
guarantee
Boston
it.
Dynamics body.
Yeah, I would be
Boston Dynamics,
surprised.
like the highest tech.
I'd be surprised
Android.
if she herself personally didn't fucking sign a contract with Boston Dynamics already.
Yeah.
I'm sure she has fucking weapons in her vagina, dude. You never know.
Inner sludge.
Cludge.
What'd you call it? Cludge.
Oh my god.
Sludgy cludge.
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Sludgy clutch. Dear
Go get
God.
that sludgy cludge out of here.
Oh, clunge.
There's an N, that's right.
Hold up.
That makes it even worse somehow.
I gotta look this up now.
Sludgy cludge.
Clunge.
Watch we say this and you put out this video and that instantly like the whole world cancels us just for using that
clunge
terminology.
is a vulgar slang term for anus or vagina.
Oh, it's
Interesting.
for either? I don't like that.
That is weird.
It's got to be one or the other. It can't be
Right.
that whole area.
Yeah, it's a little much. Yo, bro, I gotta fucking piss. I will be right back, and I'm
actually, I kind of have like some other stuff to do. I'm gonna have to cut this short, but
for sure.
I'm definitely down to do this more regularly.
Cool, man. Well, due to
This is
us
fun.
both having to peace out here in a moment.
Peace out. I see what you did there.
Dude, it was man, it's been a pleasure, man. To finally do a fucking virtual
one-on-one.
podcast and chat here. It was a good time, brother.
This is pretty good.
We need to do this again soon.
I'm down. And next time, I'm challenging you to a game of chess.
You're on, brother.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Have a
Later,
good
bro.
night. Take it easy.
Cool. Peace.
Later. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. If you would like to see more of the Gypsypotamus Experience, please check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Gypsypotamus. If you enjoyed the Gypsypotamus Experience, I also have side projects Jivstream and Dropping a Morning Log with Jivco. Check those out. Until next time, take it easy.